My name is Christy. I have adopted 5 children. 3 of them are Black. When my husband and I adopted our twins, we did not put too much thought into the color of their skin or what challenges we may face raising them. In this video, I hope to educate others on how important sense of culture is for a child growing up, and the critical commitment that you need to make when raising a child that does not look like you. My husband and I have adopted children through foster care. 3 of them happen to be Black. We have also been foster parents to 37 children, a majority of them being minorities and of African American descent. Having been exposed to all these different beautiful children, it really has opened my eyes, and I have learned a lot, and I feel this burning desire to share what I have learned to other people looking to adopt. If you are considering foster care or considering adoption, whether it be international adoption or opting through the foster care system, I really encourage you to watch this video all the way through, especially if you're looking to adopt a child of another ethnicity. I have experienced many uncomfortable situations, disrespectful encounters, been asked questions that I don't have the answer to. I know that most of you have the most purest intentions when wanting to adopt a child. I know that you're yearning to love and raise a child and show them your love and give them a better life and give them a better home. But I'm here to tell you that love is not enough. I really do believe that oftentimes most people looking to adopt really believe that love is enough, but it's not. A child needs so much more than love, especially one with another culture that you are not familiar with. So when you're adopting a child, I encourage you to look beyond love. Just because you may have a nice home and live in a nice neighborhood and can afford to send them to nice schools, it's not enough. It's about your willingness to learn their culture, to hit the pavement running and stand by them and learn every piece of their history and being. Are you willing to take the responsibility? Are you willing to learn how to do their hair? Are you willing to have those tough conversations about racism, inequality, police brutality, and build them up with positivity and encouragement every single day? Are you willing to set a positive example for your child and lead by example so they can become compassionate, loving, educated, and confident human beings? I am no expert, but I feel I have come a long way. In this video, I'm going to be touching bases on all the things that I feel should be a requirement for all adoptive parents. Although this video is to bring light to the crucial needs of an adoptive child, it's not to discourage you from adopting a child out of your own ethnicity. It's just to bring light to the situation and have you ask yourself some really tough questions before you take that leap of faith on love, because there is more to it. I'm going to be asking you some questions that may sting a little bit. They may hurt, but just know that my intentions are pure, and I am here to make sure that you uplift your child to the most confident, well-rounded, secure, informed, and educated child. It is our job as parents to make sure that we do our part and make sure that we make the best decisions for our children. And sometimes that means asking ourselves tough questions and looking at ourselves in the mirror. You'll hear me use many examples about a white parent and a Black child, and it's because that is my reality. That is what my family is like, and it's also inspired me to use that example because of what's happening in the world today with the Black community and mostly white people. I apologize if that offends you, but it is purely an example based on my reality and what the world is going through at this moment. So to touch bases on the whole love subject again, love is not enough. You can love your child more than chocolate and cake and strawberries and candy, but your child needs more from you. Love will not protect them from the harsh world we are living in. I think that the first step that any person looking to adopt is to admit to themselves that love is not enough. My children are going to face challenges that I don't know how to navigate and I have never experienced. Just like every parent's job in the world is to teach their children to be respectful and trustworthy, I will not be able to teach my son how to be a Black man. I will not be able to teach my daughters how to be strong Black women. But it is my job to put in the work, to educate myself. Educate myself on history and the hardships Black people have faced for many of years. To dig deep and find out about their culture and teach them that not everyone is going to love and appreciate the color of their skin. Ignorance is everywhere. I am not going to be able to always protect my children from that. They say that raising children takes a village. This could not be more valid for my family's dynamic or any person adopting a children of a different ethnicity. Are you willing to put your pride aside and step up and request a Black coach for your son's football team? Are you going to seek out schools that have Black teachers? Are you willing to make new friends and surround your inner circle with more strong Black women and children that look like your children? Are you willing to take your daughter to a Black salon and have a Black woman braid her hair and give her that cultural experience that you are not able to give her? Are you willing to ask the needed questions and actually try the products that are recommended to you? Are you willing to pack up your entire home and move your family to a completely different neighborhood just so your children are not the only Black children and they can grow up with others that look like them? It's okay to admit that you do not have all the answers. Being the best parent you can be means that you ask those questions and that you seek out that support and help from others. It really does take a village. As a white woman, I cannot give my Black children all that they need. Yes, I said it. I will admit it. I need help. Are you going to allow some influence in your child's life from African American people? That is a huge question to ask yourself. Are you willing to do that? And I'm going to tell you, for the sake of your child, you have to. You have to. You may look at your children not by the color of their skin, but their beautiful smile or the way they cuddle and as your sweet babies that you love so much. But the world is going to see them as Black and white. It's so important for your children to have relationships with people that look like them, so they may learn the non-verbal communication skills of the Black culture. So join those amazing resources that your agency put in place for you. Find those cool, supportive Facebook groups like Mothers of Black Sons. Ask questions. Take them to a protest. Stand by them. Take them out of that all-white school. Let them cohabitate and learn and grow with others that look like them. Put in that work for your child. Again, I encourage you to think about this, of how important a strong presence in your child's life is. Let's talk hair. Culturally, Black hair is so incredibly important for a young girl's confidence. You may have seen me do my daughter's hair several times on YouTube. I will list a bunch of videos that I think are very important for all future adoptive parents to watch. In those videos, it's not just me telling you how I do my daughter's hair, but I'm sharing some very important topics that are very important to me, and I feel every foster parent needs to learn and be educated on this. So please, after you're done with this video, please do check out the links below and educate yourself on the importance of hair care in the Black culture. There's so many videos, Pinterest posts, and hair groups out there. There is an amazing natural hair group on Instagram I will put below as well. It is my absolute favorite. I really suggest you follow them. Another thing that you need to do for your Black child is do not stay quiet. Stand up for yourself and your child. I'm going to quickly run through a couple really personal experiences that my family has dealt with. I remember being in Walgreens when my twins were only about 4 or 5 months old, and my husband and I went to the checkout, and a lady asked if the children were adopted, and we said yes. By the way, I don't do that now, but back then I was still learning how to navigate and how to communicate and to what to say back to people. But this lady looked at my husband and said, "How come you didn't adopt children that look like you?" I can clearly remember looking at my husband and seeing the pain, the anger, and the frustration in his eyes as he dumbfoundedly stared back at this lady. I grabbed my husband's hand, we took our babies, and we left Walgreens. That was probably the first eye-opening experience. There has been more, much worse, but this is the one that I felt I needed to share. The audacity of this lady, seriously. If I did not take my husband out of there at that moment, I know he would have said something that he would have regretted. But looking back on that moment, I was very disappointed in myself. I stayed quiet. I did not stick up for my family. I did not stick up for my husband, and I did not stick up for my children. I have replayed that situation over and over in my head for many years. My twins are now 8 years old, and I have thought about the best comeback. And by doing that, I've been able to handle many situations after that with grace and with the most satisfying response. So I encourage you to stick up for your children, stick up for your family, and don't stay quiet because your children are watching. I remember another mom leaning over to me one day at a spring sing at my kids' school and saying, "Wow, your son Ace is gonna be a really famous NFL player one day." And I remember looking at her like, in my head, why? Because he's Black? And I was just like, well, you know, I can totally see him as a professor or a really strong political candidate because he is so smart and he has a way with words. People can be so ignorant, but it's our job to stick up for our children. Moving along, it's very important to have a positive and open communication with your child. It really sets the tone for a healthy relationship where they can come to you and tell you about everything. I want to know about every situation my child experienced racial profiling or any type of racism or any type of situation that they experienced that hurt their feelings or made them feel uncomfortable. I want to know every single time. You know, you have to talk to your kids about racism, about police brutality. You have to talk about racial undertones and all those tough conversations and things that happen in the harsh world that they may encounter. Actually, they will encounter. Whether we want to admit it or not, they are going to experience these things. My Black children walk into a room and their narrative is already written. I, as their mother, would rather teach them and prepare them for those situations. Prepare them for not knowing what a person is thinking in their head. We don't know if they're racist. We don't know if they're not. So we need to teach them how to behave and how to act. Because we just don't know what kind of people our children are going to encounter. I want my children to know where my husband and I and our family stand, what our core values are. I have privileges that my children do not have. As a white mother, I have to work triple hard to instill that Black culture, values, harsh history, and education into my children. I have to commit to giving those tough conversations time after time and learning more to bring more to the table each and every time I have that conversation. Unfortunately, my daughter at school dealt with a racial comment when I was not present. When she came home and told me how she handled it, I was so proud. I did that. I taught my daughter how to deal with it, what to say. I equipped her with the knowledge and the words to say back to that person who made the racist comment to her. This is what I want for you. I want you to be prepared. I want you to educate yourselves, and I want you to know what to say to your child. Having Black children has changed me. I have learned about diversity. I am more cultural. I am more empathetic. I am a better person because I am raising Black children. I encourage you at this point to take a step back and to think and ask yourself some hard questions. Are you ready to put the work in to educate yourself and equip your children to face the harsh realities that this world is going to dish out to them? Can you stand with your children and make a difference that this world so desperately needs? Your children need you to do this. Are you up for it? My hope and goal here is to make sure that all adopted children feel loved, safe, secure, have self-worth, and most of all, feel confident and happy in who they are and the skin that they are rocking every day. I realize that this video may not agree with everyone. This is my own beliefs, and I feel by putting out this video, I am doing my part in making a change and educating others. We all play a part, and we all have our own responsibility to speak up, stand with each other to make this world a better place. This is what I feel like I am educated on. This is my part. If you want to learn more about the Black Lives Matter movement, and if you want to learn ways on how to help or donate and how you can stand up for equality and help Black people get what they so rightfully deserve, I will put some links below. I will also put some books that I feel like are amazing to read to your children to educate them on these very serious issues. I will put as much knowledge as I can below in the description box below, and I just ask that you check out a couple links, educate yourselves, and do as much as you can to do your part.